This video is sponsored by Alcid eHomes, whose mission it is to accelerate the advent of sustainable, healthy living systems around the world.
Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 74. Another quarter has ended, and that means new Tesla records. Volkswagen is getting a little bit desperate in China, and now Tesla once again get top safety pick, now with only vision. And the anticipated ID buzz is kind of losing its buzz. And Nissan is building a Gigafactory in the UK. Yeah, and it's huge. This is 8 inches, right? And the Tesla Model S Plaid burned to the ground. But it did reveal something. What it was, and much more on today's episode. So let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
So we did get the final production and delivery numbers of Q2. And we did see pictures from people on Twitter sharing Tesla's parking lots being empty. And we even saw pictures from stores in Israel that had sold even the Teslas on display. So it looked like Tesla did all they could to get over the magic 200,000 delivery numbers. But it all paid off because they did get to 201,250 cars delivered, and they produced 206,421. That is actually about 14% increase in production with the factories they already have. Very impressive and very important, since Tesla still sells every car they make. So in deliveries, they are up over 121% in Q2. Still, Q2 2020 was a rough Q2 with factory shutdown and pandemic going on and all. But what I still want to see Tesla do is, of course, to deliver about 100% more cars this year, so we can get close to that 1 million mark. And with yet another quarter over 100%, we are getting closer and closer to that target. But the last 2 quarters of 2020 was very big for Tesla. So for them to deliver about 90% more in both Q3 and Q4 with no Berlin, Texas online, maybe not before November, it's looking really tough. But CNBS of course came out with lies. First they came out with a headline that said Tesla falls short of expectations. Then I guess they found out that that was just straight up a lie. So they changed the headline, of course not about records or anything, no. They just said Tesla made it over 200,000 in deliveries for the first time. But in the overview of their news, we can still see the original headline. Man, CNBS, you should be ashamed of yourself. No wonder that your views are down month over month, year over year. Nobody trusts you anymore. But anyway, sorry for that rant. But the first half of 2021, that is the smallest of the 2 halves, we are already at about 386,000 cars delivered. Yeah, what a busted growth story, right, Gordon? And if we look back the last 3 years, Tesla has delivered about 57 to 70% of the year's total deliveries in the second half of the year. So not totally unrealistic to hit 1 million deliveries, but it's going to be a tough year to do over 60% growth in Q3 and Q4. But they did actually deliver 1,890 Model S and X's, and they started deliveries on the 10th of June. That is only in 20 days. That's pretty impressive. I think we will see some great sales number this year from the refreshed Model S and X, adding to better deliveries in the coming 2 quarters, especially Q4. So yet another record quarter in deliveries and production. Everything is still ramping up with the factories Tesla has online today. So the trend for Tesla is still up and up. That is what we want to see. At the end of the day, this is one of the most important things to keep an eye on when we are talking about growth and ramping up. Not like Ford that went down 27% in Q2. That is the wrong way, Ford. And nice to see Tesla's curve is actually getting steeper. Nice, and congratulations to the whole Tesla team for yet another awesome quarter. And where is all the competition that everyone is talking about? Well, let's take a look. And if you're wondering how close is all this competition to Tesla, well, not really close. Just take a look at this chart. As a brand, they are leading the EV race by quite a bit, and the Model 3 and the Model Y are just dominating the global EV sales. And just look at the Model Y, already selling like crazy. You can combine the sale of the ID3, the ID4, the Renault Zoe, the Audi e-tron, and they still have not sold as many as the Tesla Model Y alone. And the Model Y has just started selling in Hong Kong as well, so we will only see these numbers go up. And the crazy thing is, the head of Volkswagen sales said, can't build electric cars as fast as they are being sold. And in May they sold 1,213 ID4s in China. And we have just seen how they can't keep up with the sales of the Model Y at all. So if this statement is true, how will Volkswagen ever get to the 522,000 EVs sold in 2021? Because even in Europe, the Model 3 is leading the race year to date by far, and the ID4 had a great April in Europe with over 6,000 units sold. But now that has dropped to about 3,800 in May. And we don't have all the numbers yet for June in Europe, but looks like it's gonna be something similar to May. So the ID4 is not really ramping up, it's slowing down. Just as we saw with the ID3, that was one of the best selling EVs in Q4 of 2020 when it was released in September 2020. And then came 2021 and the sales just drops off a cliff, and Tesla just continues to skyrocket. And if Volkswagen can't make any more EVs than they already do, how do they expect to keep up with Tesla, or even overtake them, or just make the 522 BEVs this year? Seems unlikely. But it will be very interesting to see in Q3, where we are in now, if the ID3 and ID4 can pick up some momentum again. And speaking of Volkswagen, they are trying everything they can to get some traction in China. They're putting up these pop-up shops in very convenient places. They have done the same thing with NIO, surrounding NIO shops with 2 pop-up stores. Is it just me, or does Volkswagen seem a little desperate? And China Rider on Twitter wrote that he talked with an employee on one of those Volkswagen's pop-up stores after test driving the ID4 and asked her what the main problem was, and her answer: everybody is asking for the frunk, and the IDs don't have a frunk. So Tesla just needs to pop open the frunk and let people see it. Yes, Volkswagen has a lot to learn about making electric, software-driven cars. And that is not only me saying that. Sandy Munro said in an interview with E4Electric that Tesla is 5 to 8 years ahead of the competition. Actually, when it comes to technology, Sandy puts the ID4 dead last. Ouch.
For me, I would say that I would put the ID4 in last place.
As Elon said, the best part is no part, and the ID4 has twice the amount of electronic modules in the car than the Model Y, and is still the one with the least great technology in the car. So no wonder it does not do very well in China, when they really like smart technology. They will of course not buy the least smart EV on the market. They want the one with the best technology, and that is why the Model 3 and Model Y are dominating in China. Even Sandy Munro was disappointed with the ID4. Volkswagen really needs to step up their game. And it's time to move on. It's getting kind of old. The Tesla quality issues. I know the media has a lag time, so it will take time for anyone that has improved something to get the recognition, as Steve Jobs also talked about back in the days. But more and more people have been out trying the Plaid Model S, and they're saying the fit and finish is unreal. And Sandy Munro was impressed with the Model Y and the refreshed Model 3. So I think it's time to put these old opinions to rest that Tesla doesn't have great build quality. They have unreal build quality today. Even inside the car, when it's ripped apart, Tesla has smartly built its cars. And Ford has a mess of hoses, and we have just talked about how badly built the ID.4 is. So people that has actually been in Tesla's cars are very impressed. Sandy Munro is very impressed. As he said, it is as good as anything out of Europe, like driving a BMW, just faster. Yes, it's time to stop talking about Tesla's bad build quality. That topic was real 4 years ago, but now it just makes you look very uninformed and desperate to find anything bad to say about Tesla. And more great news about Tesla's quality. Its safety. And the Tesla Model 3 once again earns its top pick after new testing shows the camera-only system provides effective automatic emergency braking. Yeah, we don't need those expensive sensors. Well, the others do. Yes, as fast as a Porsche, but as safe as a Volvo. Well, we probably need to just say as fast as a Tesla and as safe as a Tesla. Yeah, the old guy has fallen behind on, everything. Apparently the Volvo was not equipped with the safety system, so supposedly a human error. Like this Volvo safety demonstration was a battery failure. Well, I'm just gonna stick with my Tesla. And just so everybody knows, the so-called recall in China was not a recall. It was a voluntary software update. So as Hallmark's catalog wrote, recall is the new word for software update. He had 62 recalls on his phone. Well, to be fair, it would have been a recall if it happened to anyone else, because they can't do over-the-air update, but again, main media outlets are lying in their headlines, trying to hurt Tesla. But where was all the headlines about Ford having to recall 2.6 million cars in April? Apparently it's only interesting if it's about Tesla. But Porsche is going to make a recall of some of their Taycans because of software issue where the cars suddenly lose power, even while driving. We talked about it in the last news show. Some Taycan owners in China was not happy with the Taycan because of these software issues, but now we learn that the Taycan owners have to go to the dealers because they can't fix it with an over-the-air update. Even though many of the automakers say they can do over-the-air updates, but they can't fix big things like this. Like we also saw, Volkswagen's over-the-air update is only for minor updates. So just because they have over-the-air updates, it's not the same thing as a Tesla. So what Porsche has here is a real recall of a very expensive car that can't fix software issues with an over-the-air software update here in 2021. Kind of embarrassing if you ask me. But the update will only take about 90 minutes, so that is at least much better than the ID.3 that took over 7 hours and they had to have the car for 2 days. But to me, this is one of the most important things in a smart car today. I have said it many times before, I will never, and I mean never, buy another car that can't do real over-the-air updates and have great software. To me, this is one of the most important things for a modern car. Because the car is going through what we saw with the smartphone. It's all about the software, not only how it looks. Just one big screen with great software that can be updated. And in my opinion, Tesla is in front on everything, like battery technology, efficiency, range, acceleration, motor, and so on. But when it comes to software, Tesla is all alone. No one has the level of software that Tesla has. And just look at what kind of crap, what kind of crap the old OEMs are bringing to market in 2021. I was shocked when I saw this. This is the Lexus GX 2021. No, this is not a picture from 2010. This is a picture from 2010, and this is the GX 2021. And this is an expensive car. It starts at $53,000, but the car you see on screen here, it costs $66,000. Who in their rightful mind would buy this car? If I paid $66,000 for a car and this was the software I got, I would be pissed. But it has actually sold over 13,000 units here in 2021. I don't get it. How can they get away with putting this kind of software in a car here in 2021 that looks like something out of 1998 and asks people to pay almost $67,000 for this plastic car? You can almost get a maxed out version of the Cybertruck for this amount, and it beats this car on everything else as well, not just software. And when it comes to the true cost of ownership, the Cybertruck will actually be cheaper than this plastic car with no real software. I am shocked. This is nuts. I'm sorry I just went on a rant here, but this is crazy. How? Why? Oh my god. When people really start to realize how good a Tesla is and just how affordable they really are compared to crap like this, the old dinosaurs are going to go extinct just as fast as the real dinosaurs. And Tesla reveals their patent for charging and discharging their batteries at their factories. And it's kind of a big deal. We already know about this, but now Tesla reveals their patent for it, and that is how they charge and discharge their 4680 cells when testing them out before they go into the car. And they did go over this quickly at Battery Day, but since this is actually taking up 25% on the investment in a battery factory, and Tesla can reduce that cost by 86% and at the same time save 72% floor space, this is actually quite a big deal. And Tesla also has in the patent that they do actually use the energy stored in the batteries when discharging them to charge other battery packs, so they don't waste that energy. That's a nice little touch. And if you want to make a deeper dive into this, Jonathan from Cleanerwatt just made a great video about this, and I will leave a link to this video down in the description. And we have some good news about Giga Berlin. The objection raised by German environmental associations for the continued construction of Giga Berlin was rejected by German court. If they really care about environment, maybe they should go protest against all the German OEMs that are making millions of ICE cars polluting our air. Just saying. Environmental associations protesting against Tesla? That's just wrong. Tesla is actually helping the world to transition to sustainability. But okay. And we get a glimpse of the ID Buzz in real life. But something has changed. It kind of have lost its buzz. Well, we all remember this concept of the ID Buzz, right? I certainly do, because I actually thought this would be very, very cool. And I would love to see this come to life, but unfortunately, like every other legacy automaker, the concept is just far, far away from what they will actually bring to real life. And if this is actually the production version of the ID Buzz, it has just lost all its mojo. Look at that, and then look at this. Not the same thing. And this is what the concept car looked inside. Okay, I don't like the steering wheel, but everything else is pretty cool, right? And this is what the real Buzz will look like inside. No, the ID3 and ID4 setup. No, this is not cool. And we know what kind of software it's gonna have, right? Oh, yuck. And it will come with a 111 kWh battery. Now that is a big battery, and it should give the ID Buzz about 340 miles of range, probably WLTP, but it will still only have 125 kW charging like the ID3 and ID4, so it will be quite slow to charge with such a big battery. Please, Volkswagen, pretty please don't do this. I was so looking forward for the ID Buzz, and my neighbor has even thought of buying one because the concept was looking so cool. A great modern take on the original Volkswagen bus. And then you come with something that just looks like any ordinary van. Please don't do this. We want the ID Buzz concept you showed us. It was so cool. This is not cool, not even a little bit. This was cool. The original Buzz, look at that. And yes, this is a modern take on that cool look. And this is just blah. And Tesla has delivered 142 megapacks to yet another big battery peaker power plant. The project came about when the local community in Oxnard thought against having a new gas power peaker plant to help respond to the energy demand during peak times. But luckily they settled on a big battery instead, good for the planet and good for the people living in the city. And 142 megapack, that is quite a big battery. Every megapack has a 3 megawatt hour capacity, so 142 times 3 megawatt hours, that is a whopping 426 megawatt hours of battery storage. So yes, Tesla is battery constrained, but only because they do both EVs and huge battery plant like this all over the world. Yes, Tesla already has access to a crazy amount of batteries, and they do expect to have twice as many batteries next year just from suppliers. But soon we will get the 4680 cells being spit out as well. Tesla will be the all-dominating force in the world when it comes to batteries. And speaking of batteries, a Tesla Model S Plaid burned down. We still don't know why it burned, if it has something to do with the car or if someone set it on fire. Police are still investigating, so we just leave it at that. But you know, one Tesla burn and it's global headlines. Even though there are 500 ICE cars that burns every single day in the US. Just saying. But one thing that did come out of the fire was that we did see the batteries from the car on the ground, confirming that the Plaid does not have the 4680 cells as some thought they did. So, as Elon said, the made-in German Model Y will be the first to have the 4680 cells. And Nissan will build a Gigafactory in the UK. And when it is done in 2024, it will produce a whopping 9 gigawatt hours. So technically, it does make over 1 gigawatt of batteries, so I guess we can call it a Gigafactory. It's just not the size we're used to from Tesla or anybody else. This big factory will cost about £1 billion to build for 9 gigawatts. That is kind of crazy. Tesla did get over 1 billion euros to build the battery factory in Berlin, but that will produce between 200 and 250 gigawatt hours and be up and running by the end of this year. And Nissan's 9 gigawatt hour factory will take 3 years to build. So there is a little difference here, and really shows off how far ahead Tesla is in battery manufacturing. And Nissan expects to have about 25 gigawatt hours by 2030. That is enough for about 300,000 cars. So Nissan, you still expect to sell over 4 million ICE vehicles in 2030? If this is all you have planned to do this decade, Nissan, I'm sorry, Nissan, but I don't expect you to survive then. This is just not fast enough. And reusable rockets is not something in the future. SpaceX is already doing it today. Actually, half of all SpaceX launches ever have been reused boosters, and only 1 out of 20 missions this year have been using a new booster. This is simply just amazing. And Elon did an interview about Starlink this week, and Elon said they did get over the important number of 69,420 users, but expected to get over 500,000 users within the next 12 months, which seems likely since we have heard before that they have over 500,000 pre-orders. And Elon did also say that in 2020 SpaceX stood for half of all cargo sent to space, and in 2021 they expect to send about 80% of the world's cargo to space. So Tesla is leading the EV race, but SpaceX is just the all-dominating force when it comes to spaceflight. Not even a country like Russia or China can keep up. And China? No, this does not count as landing your booster. But the plan, as Elon put it, is still not to go bankrupt. But as we know, no one has ever been in a better position to get this to be successful, because SpaceX has the lowest price ever to get to space, and also have the most affordable satellites that they can send up in a batch of 60 at a time. So Elon is very confident that this will be successful and give internet to the whole world. So no wonder that Viasat is trying to stop Starlink, because yeah, they can't keep up, and Starlink will make them pretty much obsolete. Viasat users can currently use 40 gigabytes of data and have 25 megabits per second in download speed for approximately $70 per month, but the price jumped to around $150 a month for 100 gigabytes of data and 30 megabits per second download speed. Starlink already has between 50 to 300 megabits per second download speed, and that speed will only go up. Actually, it won't stop until it hits 30,000 megabits per second, and no limit on how much you can download, and the price is only $99 a month. So that is still $50 cheaper than Viasat's best option. So in only 10 months, the Starlink dish that costs $500 will already have paid itself off, and you will get much better internet. Yeah, I'm sure Viasat wants the FCC to stop Starlink only because of environmental concerns. How stupid do they think we are? They will be out of satellite internet business in a couple of years. I will leave a link to the whole interview with Elon in the description below. And we did see the super heavy booster being rolled out as well. What a monster. And they expect to put a Starship on top of that? It is some crazy times we are living in, my friends. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this news show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. And this is something only gas cars can do. Yeah, those dangerous electric cars. And here are another example of a sudden acceleration. I'll bet Gordon Johnson is blaming Tesla's full self-drive software on this one. Yeah, I know it's not a Tesla, but Gordon doesn't care about facts. So definitely, full self-driving software problems right here. We need a recall. And apparently there are more ways to get the Plaid in gear than just using the screen. You should be able to push the little metal piece down there and suddenly some buttons shows up. Nice. And Vygruppen, a state-owned transport group in Norway, has launched a novel new service for its electric car sharing division and is now offering Tesla Model 3 for its rentals. The fact that this large state-owned transport operator selected the Tesla Model 3 as a flagship rental car bodes well for Tesla. Tesla will soon start to enter the Indian market, says Indian Minister Gigafactory. We are getting close to yet another market to open up to Tesla. And some showed off lucid retractable screen. Maybe just a gimmick, but kind of cool. I have talked about this Canadian graphite mining company before, but now we see they are also partnering with Caterpillar to make an all-electric mining machine, like we have talked about before, just like the e-dumper, that will produce its own power going down with a fully load by making electricity with generator braking and then use that energy going back up. Very cool. Tesla extends their deal with CATL for the supply of EV batteries until 2025, making sure Tesla will be able to get their hands on as many batteries as possible. And yet another country is putting a shorter timeline on the ban of new sales of ICE cars. The government of Canada will require 100% of cars and passenger truck sales to be zero emission by 2035 in Canada to protect the environment. And the German government advisor expects that in 2030 about 80% of new vehicles registrations will be EVs, and in 2025 the rate will be 2 million EVs. That is over 60% of car sales in Germany. Yeah, OEMs that expect to sell new ICE cars beyond 2030 are doomed. MGM Resorts International, who just launched a new 100 megawatt-hour solar array capable of offering up to 90% of daytime power to the company's 13 resorts scattered across the Las Vegas Strip. Nice. And Rivian showed off their kitchen unit with all of the things that it comes with in the kitchen unit. Very cool, and it's very easy to take these two pieces off when not in use, and then you can use some of the room inside the gear tunnel. And there are even a couple of 110 volt plugs in the little slide. Very nice. And Tesla is installing 12 version 3 superchargers at their headquarters for R&D and test vehicle charging. These will not be open to the public and are probably the ones that will test out the 280, 300, 350 kilowatt charging that Elon talked about at the Plaid event. And the old BMW i3 comes to an end. BM will no longer be making this electric car, at least not for the US market. BM will now only invest in building their next generation electric car like the iX and i4. The i3 did just cross over 200,000 deliveries back in October last year, and they did start producing this car back in September 2013, so not a huge amount in 7 years. That is what Tesla just delivered in 1 quarter. But nicely done, little car. We bid you farewell. And Elon Musk, of course, had his 50 years birthday this week, and here in Europe, Tobias Lin made a great video about 49 people with 29 Teslas from 11 countries showing up at Giga Berlin congratulating Elon Musk. Very nicely done, and congratulations on your 50th birthday, Elon. And Elon did tweet about the Cybertruck. We are adding rear-wheel steering so it can do tight turns and maneuver with high agility. Yeah, Tesla make better cars than their concept cars. And before we end off with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to my newest patrons and members of this YouTube channel. Peter Locke, Stephen Anthony Jolly. And my 2 new thank you for watching members, Matthias Freitag and David White. And my new best in Tesla superhero. Well, that is Luke. Luke Skywalker, everybody. Nice. Thank you all so much for your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this show. Thank you. And let's end off with a bit of fun. Okay, Tesla, when the next 2 Gigafactories comes online, don't run too fast. We need everybody else to be able to keep up, okay? Alright. No, Tesla, come back! Hey, not too... damn it. That is all we have time for in this news show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps this video out on YouTube so others can find it. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one.
If you are already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support, and if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel and get your shout out on this show. You can also become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out and some extra perks. Hit the members button to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I tweet all the news as it comes out and more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. Now it's also possible to support the show without buying anything, becoming a member or a patron. There is a link to donation options in the show notes. But going forward, I will be making more videos for patrons and members only, so don't miss out.
And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.